It's Friday Movie Recaps. Welcome as I narrate the story titled Sting. Story written by Lani Asida. Produced and directed by Victor Okpala. The movie starts with the scene where Jay comes home late at night and was confronted by someone he has been owing some money and have obviously been avoiding. The person threatens him with a gun, saying Jay's brother Femi, who was innocently sleeping inside, will also die for it if he doesn't pay them in a short while. Jay promised to pay him as soon as possible. Ola is dressing up to go out with Femi, who was sitting downstairs in the sitting room waiting for her. Ola comes from a wealthy home. His father, being a politician, is about to collect a chieftaincy title from his village. When she got down, Femi reminded her of the need to get a birthday present for Tari, who they want to go visit. But she says she doesn't have money. She thought for a while, excused herself, and then went back upstairs. She entered her father's room, checked around for money, which she finally saw in one of the drawers. She picked up some bundles out of it, a perfume from the table, and left. While outside, she sends the gate man on an errand so that he doesn't see where she hides the house key, which she did under the flower pot, to the amusement of Femi, who noted how she does that all the time. While inside the car, Femi looked surprised when he noticed the bundles of money in her bag and asked her where she got that from, since she earlier said she doesn't have money. She replied metamorphorically that her father have a bank in his room. They laughed and left for Tari's house. Tari is their friend, who is also in the same college with them. Ola hands her the perfume she got from her father's room as a birthday present, and she is thankful. Tari tells her that Bolade, her boyfriend, is not around because he has gone to pick up Basil from the airport. Now, Basil and Bolade, Tari's boyfriend, are friends. Basil have been out of the country, and Ola have always had a crush on him. Ola excuses herself and Tari, then drags Tari to the kitchen for a private talk. She's angry that Tari didn't tell her earlier that Basil was coming to town. Tari tells her that is because she have a boyfriend already. But Ola says who cares about having a boyfriend? At that point, Femi came into the kitchen and asked them if there is anything he can get for them. But they said no. Ola immediately told Femi that she wouldn't be around for the weekend, but will go to the village to attend her father's chieftaincy title occasion. And she apologizes for the sudden change of mind. Well, he says he will miss her and leaves back to the sitting room. Tari is wowed at Ola's fast construction of lies just to be with Basil, but Ola cares less. Ola is on phone with her parents, saying she can't make it to the village for the occasion because of an impromptu test that came up in school. She then drives out to Tari's house. Femi and his brother Jay are in a car parked on the road just beside Ola's compound, waiting for the right time to go into the house and steal. Femi says to Jay that he had warned him not to sell drugs, but he refused. Now it has gotten him into trouble. But Jay asked him how then could he have raised money to pay his school fees when needed. Ola at Tari's house is getting all excited about her meeting with Basil. Tari kept reminding her that she have a man, but she doesn't want to hear that. Jay and Femi are still waiting in the car. Jay is impatient, but Femi says he should calm down. They are waiting for the right moment. Moreover, they have the whole weekend to do it, so no hurrying. Not too long, the gateman goes out, leaving the gate open. Then Femi sneaked into the compound, picks up the key from where he always see Ola hide it, opens the door, and went into the house. Meanwhile, Tari opens the door for Basil and Bolade. They all exchanged pleasantries. Ola is all flirting with Basil and making unnecessary steps to be noticed. Femi is inside the house, and instead of looking for the money he came for, he was busy admiring the interior of the man's room. He even laid on the bed, though he searched for the money, but he wasn't so in a hurry, knowing he has the whole day. Tari is ready to go out with the others, but as Bolade mentioned where they are going out to, Basil objected, saying he wanted somewhere serene where they can bond and catch up. Ola agrees, but Tari says she doesn't have drinks at home. Basil offered to get them, but she also said her parents will soon be home, so Ola suggested they go to their house instead, since her parents are out of town and they have drinks at home. They all agreed, and so they left for Ola's house. Femi is lying on the bed, relaxed, while Jay called him to know how it is going over there. Femi says he is still looking for it. He then gets up, leaving his phone on the bed, and became serious as he checked the bathroom, wondering where the mini bank Ola talked about is. In the midst of the search, he kept admiring the place. He left the room and went to Ola's room, where he started sniffing Ola's clothes and her pillow. He went through her diary. Meanwhile, Jay is also relaxed in the car, smoking and watching some things on his phone. He sees Ola drive into the compound and got uncomfortable. He tried calling Femi to inform him, but Femi wasn't picking up as he left his phone in the other room. He got out of the car worried. Ola goes to get the house key, but couldn't find it. She calls the gate man and asks if there is anyone in the house, but he says no. Just then, Tari observed that the door was open. Right now, she isn't sure how she could have left without locking the door. Tari says that is because she had a man in her head. She welcomed them in and offered them wine. Femi is still upstairs in Ola's room, clueless that some people are in the house with him. He soon hears noises and gets uncomfortable. He now began to search properly in the room. Basil tells Tari that he is interested in her friend Ola. Tari tries to know how serious he is, but he sounds like whatever she wants, I'm in. And that reply didn't go down well with Tari. Ola, who was with Bolade at the other side, asked Tari to see her upstairs in her room. She wants to know what Tari thinks about her and Basil. Tari says she have the whole night to find out. She tells her Femi is a good guy, brilliant, cute, but he is her mate and a bit naive and so polite. She likens it to the case of a good girl liking a bad guy. Tari reminds her that Basil would soon be going back to the States. Ola says she knows it's just going to be a fling, as she is not breaking up with Femi regardless. Tari isn't happy watching Ola and Basil all loved up. She complains how boring they have been sitting watching TV. Femi tiptoed quietly downstairs into the kitchen and continued his search. Bolade tried to make her mind her business, but didn't succeed, as she finally got up and stopped the duo who were almost kissing, asking what games they should play to keep themselves busy. Ola tried eye communication with Tari to leave them, but it didn't work. She continued disturbing them, saying they need food at least. Frustrated, Ola gets up and heads for the kitchen to order pizza. Tari follows her there. Femi, hearing them coming, runs and hides behind the fridge. Tari isn't happy that Ola is throwing herself so cheaply at Basil, making it go so fast. But Ola says they are both adults and know what they want. What about Femi? Tari asks. A fed-up Ola bursts out that Femi is a child and that what Femi doesn't know won't hurt him. At this point, Femi is devastated and feels really bad. Jay is restless outside as he paces to and fro by the fence, worrying why Femi isn't picking up, while Femi's phone kept on ringing where he left it. After Ola finished placing an order for the pizza on phone, she left the kitchen and Femi got out of his hiding place and heads for the kitchen exit door. Just then, Tari walks in and saw him. She shouted in surprise. The others came in and did the same. Femi said he can explain. Jay sights a police officer coming his way. He entered his car and zoomed off. Femi told them that he came through the kitchen's back door to surprise Ola. But how did you know I will be home? She asked. He said she told him, but Ola can't remember such. She is uncertain, so she is confused, but she accepts the explanation anyway and welcomes him to join them, even though she was uncomfortable. Femi is really nervous and introduces himself to Basil, who did the same. Femi made fun of Basil, saying he's one of those guys that come back with accent and then take their girls away from them. Nervously, he demanded for a strong drink, which Ola objected, knowing he doesn't take that, but he insisted. So Ola went to go get it from the kitchen. Bolade tried to do some catching up with Femi about school matters, but Femi is not concentrating. Meanwhile, Tari is looking at Femi suspiciously. Afterwards, Femi faked coughing and left for the kitchen, in order to go know what Ola may be doing there. Basil says Femi is behaving weird, but Bolade tells him no, that is because Ola is his girlfriend. This shocks Basil. Femi met Ola giving directions to someone on phone, and he is curious to know who it is. Tari, still suspecting Femi, drags Bolade to the corner to register how she doesn't believe Femi, reminding Bola that they met the front door open, and now they saw Femi in the kitchen. But Bolade says it's Femi, not any person, and he is supposed to know how to get into his girlfriend's house. Tari is not convinced. Ola told Femi it's the pizza they ordered for. She just gave directions to the house. Femi isn't convinced. He asks to see her phone to check if it is the police, but she says should she be worried about something? Femi immediately waved it off and said he was just joking. He then focused on asking her who Basil is and why she wants to cheat on him with him. She kept denying that he is just Bolade's friend. Femi became violent as he held her both arms, demanding a reply while she screamed. The others ran in. Tari uses the bottle of wine on his head in defense for her friend, and Femi blacked out. They took him to the sitting room and laid him on the sofa while they tried to figure out what next to do. Tari is still of the opinion that Femi is a thief or was sent to poison Ola's renowned father. Bola tells Basil how Femi is an intelligent guy, a 4.5 GP student. Tari says Femi is a thief and has something to do with the opened front door. The rest doesn't believe. What if he actually came to surprise me, Ola said. She went out to inquire from the gateman if anyone came in before and after her arrival. But he says no. Back in the house, Bola says maybe he and the gateman are working together. After Basil heard all their explanations, he told them that Femi could actually be a bad person and suggested they involve the police. At that point, Femi looked up and got up to run away, but they caught him halfway and brought him back to the shed. His attempt to run gave him away. It was no doubt that he is a thief, and they all are surprised at this fact. Bola registered his disappointment, while Basil is angry that Femi landed a blow on his face when he tried to stop him while he wanted to escape. Soon there was a knock at the door. Her ordered pizza have arrived. While she paid the delivery guy, who turned out to be Jay, and was about to leave, he pointed a gun at her and took her in to meet the others, who were all shocked at the turnout of things. Femi got up and went over to his brother, which was another shocker to the others, saying that Femi knew this man with a gun. Jay questions Femi why there are 4 people in the same house. He said there will be no one. Besides, where is the money he came for? But he says that there is no money. Jay won't take that for an answer, so he took Ola towards the kitchen for the money. Tari told the others to revolt since it is only Femi remaining and he is unarmed. Femi picks up a piece of the broken plate Tari broke out of shock earlier as a weapon. In the kitchen, he kept demanding she shows him where the money is, but she says there is no money. He looked all around but saw nothing. Basil got up and gets towards Femi, who held out his weapon against him, telling him to stay back. Jay took a knife with him as he led Ola back to the others. He met Basil and Femi confronting each other, but he recognized Basil's face. Basil also recognized him. Jay explained to Femi who Basil is. He said it is that his friend in the hood he once told him about. Femi giggles and said so he had been pretending with American accent, whereas he is from the ghetto like them. While Jay was about taking Ola upstairs to her father's room, Femi asked him to give him one of the weapons, so he left with him the gun, telling him to pretend he knows how to use it. Upstairs, Jay admires the room and Ola. He told her that Femi liked her a lot and that this operation isn't Femi's fault. He had told him to help him out and that there were supposed to be a mask. But Femi said it will be easier without a mask since there will be no one at home. She says her father doesn't keep money at home. Jay doubts it and began to search for any secret safe around. Downstairs, Femi gets alcohol and began to drink. Meanwhile, Tari have been fuming silently while Bola tried to calm her down, but to no avail as she finally sprouts out and walks towards Femi, challenging him that he won't go scot-free because there are hidden cameras everywhere. He commands her to sit down and shut up. Then he called Basil to come over and drink with him while they talk about his "I just got back." Femi asked him where he said he just got back from, and he replied London. Femi laughed over it and let the other know that he is lying. It is South Africa and not London. He told them that he saw him when he was about to kiss his girlfriend and how Tari stopped them. He thanked Tari anyway. Upstairs, Jay says he cannot leave the house empty-handed, and so he got a bag of jewelries and took her again back to the others. Femi saw the bag with Jay and is excited that Jay has finally gotten the money. But he said it was jewelries and that is it. So let them go. But Femi says he needs to speak with Ola, that after this, he won't be able to see her again. But his brother objects that there is no time for that. But Femi insists, saying he has ruined his life enough already. So let him grant him this 5 minutes with Ola. Jay senses he is under alcohol influence, but he denied he is speaking with his clear head. And so he collected the knife from his brother and left for upstairs with Ola. He took her back to her father's room. Ola asked him why he came to steal from her, even when she gave him all he ever asked for because she loved him. But Femi laughed over the word loved. He said she can't possibly mean that because he overheard her say he is naive and too young and too polite. He asked if there is something wrong in being polite. Jay is doing a little catching up with Basil. Basil is trying hard to avoid the others hear what they are discussing. He tells Jay that he lied to these ones that he has been in London and here he is trying to bust his cover. Femi said to Ola that he had tried to be good to her and here she is trying to get laid by another man. A man that is not what he says he is. He went ahead to explain to Ola that Basil is not coming back from London as he claimed, but from prison in South Africa. She looked really disappointed and ashamed. Femi got up and locked the door. He dropped the knife on the table and tried to have his way with her, covering her mouth with his palm as she kept screaming. The gateman is out, dancing to a loud music on his phone, so he hears nothing. The screams soon got down to the others, who ran up and banged on the door. shouting at Femi to open it. They finally broke in and pushed Femi away from her. Jay scolded him for trying that and told him let them leave. But Femi still says no, that he would like to drink water, and started opening every drawer there. Finally, he bumps into the drawer containing the money, and they are both very happy. Jay packed them into the bag. Zari, who have obviously been showing signs of a hot-tempered fellow, is busy ranting at them. She even included Basil, saying she knows they planned it all together. Just as Jay and Femi were leaving, furious Tari gets the knife on the table and stabs Femi on the back. Femi is lying down dead over his pool of blood. Thank you for watching. If you like what I do, please drop a like and share this video. For our old subscribers, I say thank you so much. And for our new visitors, I urge you to subscribe. Thank you and bye.